I hope you guys are ready for me to rant today, because man, I'm going to be ranting. First off, y'all don't believe in me. We're going to be going live today in about an hour and a half. I'm going to be playing some Astro Explorers. We're going to be playing some Astro Explorers, and look at this. Let's pull this up, actually. Hold on. I had to pull this up because y'all don't believe that I can get the top score in Astro Explorers. So I'm going to pull this up. And I got a lot of rants today. I'm ranting today. I'm in a mood. Let me tell you. This isn't even the important thing. I'm going to get to the important thing. Let me pull this up. Oh, it got worse. Let's see. Probably this one. By the way, we're live. So we're live on Twitch, and is it working? I want to see this work. Bricktop says hi. I'm going to get to the stream. I'm going to get to the chat in a second here. Well, it doesn't seem to be working. I don't see nothing. I know y'all see something, right? Is it not working? You guys see me, right? I just see emptiness in this window. I don't know what's going on there. Huh. All right, well, hold on. I got to make sure that's working. I see. All right, well, we're going to go through the chat, but look at this. Forget the stream for a second. Look at this. So it's only 35 cents for you believe I can get the high score in Astro Arcade Space Viking game. So, man, I'll tell you all, I'm going to crush this thing. You guys don't even see it. I'm going to crush this thing, okay? I'm going to crush this thing. There's a lot of money. Oh, that's my balance. Oh, am I showing my balance? Well, I don't care. I got some cash on there. I'll tell you what. All right. I'm going to go through the chat, and then I'm going to go through more rants. So let's see what we got here. Cloudy Vibe saying, sup fam, market crashing. What's going on? Oh, we're going to cover that. Green Blue Algo says, oh, shoot, my popcorn isn't ready yet. Well, get your popcorn ready because, man, we are ranting today. And that ain't even about the title. Bank Failure Friday. Also, Folks Finance Friday says Green Blue Algo. B Trader, what's up, B Trader? Says, hey, BC. BC, be sure to shout out Haystack for subsidizing their Hey USDC LP on Tiny Man. This needs to be the norm. Yeah, we can take a look at that. That's fine. Bricktop says hi. I don't know who Bricktop is, but I'll say hi to them. Cloudy Vibe saying, let's go buying the dip. Good day to buy the dip for sure. Cloudy Vibe says, I see you. So everything seems to be working, but it's not popping up on Alpha Arcade. So they're supposed to embed the stream and it's not working. So whatever. See you on X. Yeah. So people see Sean Wick photos. Thank you for seeing me on X. I appreciate that. Cloudy Vibes. Thank you so much. I see you. I see all you guys. Green Blue Algo. Some of my OGs in here. B Trader in here. I love it. Am I missing anybody? Begum saying, hey, BC, I just shared your link. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that, my brother. And all right. I'm feeling like ranting today because I got to tell you, I got really burnt out this week on crypto. I got super burnt out on crypto. I'm like, there's certain things that I'm just really tired of. I'm sick of like every time someone sneezes in the Algorand space, someone has to make a meme coin about it and then try to get people to, oh, if you don't care about this thing, if you don't get the meme coin. I'm not getting the meme coin, okay? I don't care. I don't want any more meme coins. I rarely engage with them. Sometimes I do, but you know, if they're having a good week, I will take a look at them on our charts. But, you know, generally speaking, I tell you guys, I've been saying this for years. This is like play stuff. So don't get too serious about it. Now, Alpha has demonstrated that it has some value. So I appreciate that. The fact that you can own it and get a share of the Alpha Arcade market. But, you know, there's still issues, man. There is still issues with tokens. So you got to be careful. And I think some Alpha Haystack have been at least good with the tokenomics. I appreciate what they're trying to do. I was pretty bearish on the Tiny Man platform, and that just, you know, the tiny token just has taken a dive and it's been a slow decline. Maybe they got to burn more. I don't know. Some of y'all have been saying like, get a Frugal BC coin. Man, I ain't messing with none of that stuff. No Frugal BC coin. It ain't happening. If you see a Frugal BC coin, it is not coming from me because I just don't want to mess around with one. I don't need the SEC knocking on my door. I don't need a bunch of angry people going, the price went down. I don't know. Heck if I know why the price went down. What do you want from me? Fisherman saying, Big Chad, hey, you know what? Big Chad's going to be rocking it on this GD Astro Explorers game. I'm going to rock that thing. We're going to be doing that at noon, okay? So at noon, a lot of y'all going to get liquidated. That's all I'm going to say. A lot of y'all going to get liquidated. That's what it's going to be, okay? Cloudy Vibe says Algo is too small to have all these meme coins. There's just too many. You know, it's like whatever. You want to play around with them, fine. But I'm not taking them too seriously. And what you got to remember with these coins is there's always a platform risk. You know, any guys remember? Raise your hands. And by that, I mean, you know, shout it out in the chat. When you see, no pressure, he says, yeah, when you see, if you guys had algo stake, anybody have algo stake in here? Anyone remember that? Because I did. That was part of our DeFi experiment. You know what? Went to freaking zero or just about because the platform stopped. So you got to be mindful of that. Now, sometimes a community can take them over, but there's not always reason for them to do that. As I take a sip of my Aldi energy drink. $1.25, sons. Yeah, Green Blue Algo saying, no pressure. Yeah, no, I'm gonna rock. No, I'm gonna crush this thing, or I'm gonna die trying. V Trader saying Bitcoin is really acting like gold trans child. That's a statement. Can't even hold its all-time high level, and always corrects itself for months these days. I think we're seeing. You know, I've kind of talked about this, and this is kind of what I'm talking about too. That's going to be in the next part of my rant. We're going to get to that. Y'all got to be patient. And I think you got to understand that the bull markets of the past are over. It's not going to act that way anymore. You're not going to get this where you get a new candle every single day. I just don't think it's going to happen anymore. I think, and I've heard some very wise voices say the same thing, that that it goes to, you know, that they're lengthening. Obviously, we see that. We know that's true. We 100% know that's true because we should be popping off. We should have been popping off a long time ago, and we really haven't, you know. We should have been popping off a long, long time ago. So, you know, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Got a long ways to go from that. Bart Reefin saying, what causes the big dip at the moment? Anything going on? Nah. You guys are trying to attribute too much stuff to the single mechanisms. Nobody's paying attention on algo to build meme coin on its network. Well, not enough. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's just too many. It doesn't matter. You know what? I'll save my rant. We're going to get to the charts here. Let's go back to... Yeah, so we got a pullback. Okay, so we're down a little bit. You know what? Good time. If you're going to buy some more Bitcoin, good time to buy a little bit. You look for these dips, and then you buy, and that's a big dip on Ethereum. That's a big dip. That's a good... It depends on your strategy now. If you're buying and holding, this is the time. Look, under 119 right now. Ethereum at 4, you know, just above 4,000. This was like almost 4,500 like yesterday. Even BNB going, actually BNB is holding pretty good comparatively, but BNB, you know, that's interesting. That might be the one. Yeah, Fisherman says Trump threatened higher tariffs on China. Well, that'll do it. Goon Squad says leadership needs to go. Well, I don't know about that. We're gonna look at like what this is. I have my doubts about it. I'll be 100% honest. I have my doubts about it, whether it's true or not. And you know, I think you guys know I'm not a big Stacy hater. I just think people just don't care about the tech. You know, you guys can pretend like crypto is supposed to make fundamental sense, and it doesn't. Because you know, if it did, Solana would not be number 6. Solana would be number 600 if the tech mattered. If it mattered that a blockchain stays up all the time, and I'm just talking about in terms of price. I'm just talking in terms of price. I'm not talking about like you got to separate price and you got to separate utility. They're not correlated right now. They're just not. And if you want to hope they are, They're not. Because Solana would not be up here. It's been down. It crashes all the time. Transactions fail. And here it is. Here it is. So what are you going to do? You want to cry about it? You can cry about it. It ain't going to matter. Or you can just deal with reality. And the reality is I have Solana in my bag. Do you know why? Because people will buy Solana. When you talk to normies, if it's not Bitcoin or Ethereum, the next one they talk about is Solana. Maybe XRP, but most of the time it's Solana. So you know what? I got Solana in my bag because you know what? It's going to go up. I have Algorand because I like to use Algorand. That's why I have it. You know, I see these people saying it's going to be $5, $10. No, it's not. Algorand's not going to get that high this cycle. I mean, listen, I'll be happy to be wrong, and it doesn't matter because you don't need to make price predictions. You just need to actually have a strategy and follow the strategy. And the strategy is when you have dips like this, if it's a buy and hold asset for you, like Bitcoin is for me, I'm going to buy more. And when it's up, either, you know, I just don't do anything. And probably actually the best thing that the vast majority of you out there can do is just have a good diversified selection of assets, add to it during dips, and otherwise just go do something else. Go mountain bike, go for a walk, whatever, go kiss your girlfriend, something. Just, you know what, if you just worry the more time you spend dealing with this, unless you are an expert trader, and most of you are not, and I am not. A lot of us are not expert traders. I'm not an expert trader. Like, I don't sell that on the channel. Is my portfolio up? Yes, because I bought during the bear cycle. It's just that simple. And I took profits. By the way, you know, in November, December, I took profits. You know how many people told me I was early in taking profits? I'm up 140% the last time I checked. It's probably down a little bit now. Because I can't lose. My whole bag could go to zero and I would have made like $200. Obviously, it's not going to go completely to zero, and that's not going to happen. But I'm just saying, like, it's completely de-risked because I practice risk management. When you have profits, you take those profits off the table. You know, the only exception for me is for Bitcoin. All right, let's see what people got to say because I've been ranting a long time. What was a lot? I really missed a lot. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, so Fisherman is saying the reason for the dip is that Trump threatened higher tariffs on China. Yeah, he's always doing that. And you know what? You can trade off of Trump. You can buy dips. Buy those Trump dips, man. Buy them. Let's see. Governor Hat says, me and Corn are an example of a paradox of thrift. Interesting. Individually, it is risky and a good way to lose money. However, heavy activity stimulates the overall chain activity and draws people in. I don't know if I believe that second point, if I'm being honest. I think it's just mostly Algorand people playing with Algorand assets. I don't see a lot of evidence. Maybe the Pepe one maybe did that, but I just don't see. I'd love to see evidence of that, and I would believe it. But every coin all these projects have their own meme coins. So what's so special that's going to bring you from, oh, I'm a Hedera user, but I'm going to go to Algorand, or I'm an Algorand user, but that meme on Solana looks really cool. If you want to be in Algorand, you're going to be in Algorand. If you want to be in Solana, you're going to want to be in Solana. I just don't buy that. My Algo USDC LP is buying the dip on Algo right now. Yes, that's one aspect of those for sure. Rich Miggy 1, hey, welcome to the show, brother. Said market makers sees too many longs. That's why we need to manipulate drop BTC for now. Yeah, I think it's probably more the tariff dip, dude. Same here. I really believe in Algo. Yeah, the tech side is great. I mean, I use it because I actually can use Algorand. You know, I'm live on a. Is it working? Let me see if it's working. No, it's not working. Anyway, I'm live. By the way, we are live on YouTube. We are live on X, and we are live on Twitch today because of the integration with the Alpha Arcade, which is not working. I was hoping they have a kick option, but they only have Twitch. So I went on Twitch and we'll see what happens. I wonder if I can actually see. Oh, I actually have 3 people. I have some people watching on Twitch. That's cool. That's neat. Cool. Cloudy Vibes says, say, I bet you got a point. I'm still sticking with Algo and not buying Sol. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't buy it now. I wouldn't buy just about. I'm really not. Other than adding to my Bitcoin bag on dips and maybe Ethereum, maybe I'll think about that. Maybe there was an 118 it could have got. Green Blue says I accidentally interacted with an XRP thread on X. Now I need to reset my algorithm. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of the ones I've owned. I took profit on it too, so it is what it is. And if it goes, if we're just keep going down, then I'll just keep adding to my bags. That's it. Do you think we'll have alt season this year? I don't know. Maybe. I think here's the thing: when people are up in profit, they're going to take profits. Like that's frankly what you should be doing. What else we got? It's just everything's down, other than Litecoin. I don't know what's going on there. Polkadot up a little bit. All right, what's the worst? What lost the most? What gained the most? Zcash, BitTensor, Litecoin, Near Protocol over $3. Alt season is a false flag. Care to expand on that? Currently, by the way, we are halfway in between Bitcoin and alt season. This has been changing a lot. The standard rotation does go typically Bitcoin to Ethereum to altcoins. But remember, there's no guarantee this stuff is going to happen. There's no guarantee that you're going to go, it's going to perfectly match what it has in the past. And in fact, it's not matching what it has in the past. Yeah, let's see what, who's the big loser? Something called 00. That's one that's kind of new. Oh, I'm getting the Twitch spam. That's nice. Mantle at 15%. World Liberty Financial down. That's a shame. Plasma, Pancake Swap, Meme Core, EtherFi. Just not really a lot of ones I care about. MYX. So there goes my thesis that MYX is a counter indicator, because there it is. It's quite a bit down along with the rest of the market. Aster. A lot of people excited about Aster. Stacks. Well, that's one I haven't even seen for a while. I'm surprised that worked its way back up. Yeah, of course, Ethereum's up there. Story, Bonk. Yeah, nothing on. So let's see. Hold on a second, because you know what? I'm gonna message Alpha Arcade to tell them that it's not working. You guys know. I just gotta let them know it's not working. Okay. So Green Blue says, you said on Twitter, too much news to waste on video game. That's not starting till noon, so we're not gonna play the game until noon. By the way, just to let you know. Yeah, we got quite an audience today. Okay, let's go to. Actually, hold on one second. I just want to make sure it's actually working on Twitch. .com/BC. Claudia says, yeah, it gets annoying. No, it's working. It's just not working. Okay, it's just not working on the Alpha Arcade window, so it is what it is. I'm going to keep that. Cloudy Vibe says they FUD. Who's they? I don't know who they is. Let's go to the markets here. Yep, a lot of red, except something called deflationary. Should we go to full screen here? Yeah. You guys see that? You know what? I'll just go like that. And, okay, I'll move. Hold on. All right. Yeah. So Algorand about 21 cents. Nothing to be too excited about there. Anything like what Alpha Arcade really dropped in the last week. It's really dropped 24% almost. One of the bigger ones on here, Munko, dropped a lot. Opulus. Oh my God. Opulus is up. Guys, you really want me to rant, don't you? What, you really want me to rant? Guys, you gotta stop buying this crap. These guys are total traitors to Algorand. I got nothing good to say. Everyone should just, okay. I don't think this coin should exist. That's just I think it should be done. It should be out of the Algorand ecosystem. That's enough. We got new ones. We got top gainers. We got deflationary algo. There's where all your liquidity is going. Here's the thing. If there's so many on here, they just drain liquidity from the main token. There's a 69,420. Yes, we definitely needed that, didn't we? We needed a 69,420, didn't we? Because it was something called Dumbly. Oh God, I'm so sick. Dude, I'm so sick of meme coins. I'll be honest. I'm just tired of meme coins. I don't know what to say anymore. I don't know what to say. Everything's crashing, and Trump's tariffs not helping. I'm really done with the tariffs. Like I didn't have a problem with the tariffs, but do we have to just spend like all this time talking about freaking tariffs? Like, just name a tariff, call it good, and can we move on? Anyway, okay, I rant over on that. Let's go to the Salt app. I've been hoping they improve the UI on this. This is the HBAR one, so all of my HBAR fans also read, everything's down, especially Gib. I don't even know what that is. I've heard of it. I know some people are really big on it. But yeah, everything about down about 2 to 3% on the week, and we don't, or sorry, on the 24-hour, we don't get. They don't give us the 7-day, unfortunately. What's the biggest by volume? Other way, please. Dovu, the biggest by volume, followed by Sauce, and then Bonzo. And you got Karate and Pack in there too. Karate being for the Karate Combat coin, Pack for hash Pack. Rich Mickey 1 says, what do you think why newer chains overtook Algo, considering Algo is one of the best overall functionality? Because no one cares about that. They just don't. I shouldn't say nobody, but like the vast majority of investors, they're just interested in the newest thing. That's how it works. Doesn't matter. Suppose Algorand is in the top 20. It used to be, not anymore. I'm on a rant today. I'll be honest, I'm on a rant. I want to go back here. Yeah, how's Trump still talking about the tariff and the government is shut down? I don't know. He wants to. Like, I don't really care. I just want it to be done. You know what I mean? Here, we're going to go. Let us look at we're on the 1 day. Let's go to 4 hour. I usually like to operate on the 4 hour. And I like the RSI. Boy, we really had a crash. Yeah. So funny thing is, it does seem to be news related because honestly, we're still pretty high on the, we're definitely not oversold. Oversold's going to be right around this bottom range. So in fact, what if hold on a second. Yeah, that's actually better. Oversold is going to be way down here. So we're kind of in that not quite mid-range. We're definitely within the band of acceptability, so to speak. Like here's overbought, here's overbought, here's oversold. We're at the bottom of the Bollinger Band, but not the bottom of the RSI. So I'd be cautious about picking up this dip unless it goes down a little more. B Trader says Algo's random blockchain generation makes it the most difficult to hack. Green Blue says positive news is hey USDC subsidy. Well, why don't we look at Hey? Actually, well, here, I'll go to Tiny Man. We'll look at that. I want to talk about Hey because Hey is a sponsor of the channel. The Haystack app, which you can get. If you don't have it, by the way, you can download it. Check the link in my description on YouTube. You can see how much I've received so far, and you can see how I don't have any. I'm not doing anything on Tiny Man right now. Let's go to here. Maybe I should be using this Hey pool. Let's see. Hey USDC, you get 76, almost 77% in Hey rewards. and 11% in tiny rewards. So only the USD one, which, by the way, here's one thing I'll say. Here's one thing I'll say. If you're gonna do one of these farming programs, you definitely want USDC in it. I would only touch those. But you got to remember, you got a volatile asset. Now, it's nice that they're rewarding that. That's a good opportunity, but be mindful. I think Hay is doing the right stuff with the tokenization, with the tokenomics. I think they're doing the right stuff to keep this being a pretty successful coin, I think. But you got to be mindful of this, because Hay can drop. I think it's been doing pretty well. Alpha doing pretty well too. Here's one I wouldn't touch. No offense, I would not touch Hay ATARD. I don't want, or anything that isn't USDC or Algo. You don't want two ASAs. We've done the experiment. Okay, we've tried it, and if you got two ASAs, that can drop so much so fast that it'll totally obliterate the APR that you're getting. We know it because we ran the experiment. We're not just speculating. We actually tried it out, ran it for almost a year, and you know what did the best was Algo USDC, by far. But you know, it used to be rewarded. Now it's not. So I'll tell you what, I was actually a fan of the old system. I wasn't a fan of staking rewards. I mean, they're okay, but I was getting way better rewards under the old system. So that's, anyway, I do want to give a shout out to Hay, because the Haystack trading app, which is mobile first on Algorand, that is a sponsor of the channel. And I think the UI is super clean. It's really great. You know, my only problem is I wish I could bring it up on screen. I'd love to be able to do a demonstration, but it's like so much more difficult when you can't, you know, when it's on mobile versus, you know, having a web browser so I can pull it up like I am here. But anyway, that's Hay. There's Hay. While we're at it, why don't we give a big shout out to Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius is a meme coin and NFT project on the Algorand blockchain, spreading the word about Stoicism. You can see here, join the little Stoic army. Join Marcus and his friends, Senecat and Epictetus, on a mission to share Stoic wisdom and kindness everywhere, and to help navigate your day and life. The coolest part is making these videos now. Look at those, are cool, man. I think that's really neat. I think those are really fun. Someone wanted to make like Frugal BC videos like that. That'd be pretty cool too, I think. So anyway, I just think that's kind of neat. We're not gonna play one of those necessarily, but I just wanted to show them. They do have a YouTube channel, so you should go check that out. Just by searching Marcus Aurelius, and I like the idea behind this, so that's why I partnered with them. But that's about it for that. So let me go to X. Okay. So I think it's time for some, let's just get to the Algorand news, because I want to talk about what that is. Okay, so you guys know how I do my segments. You guys know how I do this, right? So I'm going to B-Trader asking, are any new projects that you're eyeing on? I went new. I don't know what you mean by new exactly, but I think I've made pretty clear that I don't follow meme coins too much, or any of the ASAs, other than Alpha and Hay, which I think both have really good tokenomics. Hold on. Okay. Anyway, I gotta okay, I really gotta get to our segment. Okay, popcorn in, popcorn locked in. Here we go. Segment about, is the Algorand Foundation Board stepping down? Now, just a reminder, if you guys want to weigh in on this, feel free. If it's something unrelated to our Algorand segment, then, you know, we'll save that for later. But we're gonna get into this because I saw this. I just unpulled it up. I saw this and I'm like kind of surprised. So let's take a look at this because I have my doubts about it, let's just say. But here we go. Bankin.algo said the entire Algorand Foundation Board is stepping down. Stacy and the board have already had one foot out ready to go for over 6 months. They have held their positions for 4+ years with no way of being removed. They have yet to hit any key KPI goals and have not been held accountable. Actually, I want to see what are those KPIs. I would like that to see laid out, but this is supposedly from Stacey Warden. Now, here's the thing. Anyone could create an account and verify it and call themselves Stacy.algo. So I don't know if I 100% believe this, but I'm skeptical that this is real, but I don't know for sure. I thought I heard this somewhere else too. I thought she said on a space that there was going to be some change. I know she talked about that she wasn't, she said something about maybe not being the CEO for too much longer. So I'm not sure about that, but anyway, I do think it's interesting. I would like to see more. There is more. Let's see, what's that going to show up as? Here they were talking about community representation on the foundation board. Said, hi, we will have 2 community members on the board. Selection details not yet determined. Sorry, but without voting over the current board members, adding 2 new from the community will not change who holds the entire board accountable. Regardless of performance, there's 0 accountability. Wish I had a job that I couldn't get fired from. Well, and she says, yeah, the entire board is stepping down, as I said. I know this is below. Yeah, Kenneth said she will be gone next year sometime. Yeah, I remember that too. Green Blue says you broadcast the stream where she said it might not make sense for her to be CEO in 2026. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I remembered that right. So thanks for confirming that. I appreciate that because I wasn't 100% sure if I remembered, but I thought I remembered that being the case when I was streaming it. Yeah. So thanks for that. Thanks for that, Green Blue. Let's see. I can move this up. The entire board is stepping down, as I said. Can't wait for voting over the replacements. Huge news. Thanks for sharing, Stacy. I'd go public with it, but that seems more of a bullish post you could make. Obviously, that didn't happen. I'm trying to hit the wrong button here. So yeah, so that is some things that were said allegedly, and let me check that again. So it doesn't have the actual address, which is why I'm like slightly skeptical, but she did say that. Make sure to spread this info across all social platforms. We need this dictatorship to end. We need representation and voting. This all should have been part of the Algorand roadmap. We cannot let them dwindle the treasury that was meant for ecosystem development anymore. I normally am against sharing DMs. However, this bullish insider information is needed to be brought to the public's attention. So interesting. Moonbest says they announced that their current international board would be restructured to reflect US-based operations during the roadmap event. Yeah, I kind of remember that too. Do you guys remember that as well? The first few minutes. Yeah, let's dive in actually.
Hey, morning.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
You guys take Bitcoin, right?
Sure do.
I'm gonna be paying with Ethereum if that's okay.
Okay. Yep. No.
Sorry.
Yeah, we all remember this.
The game is on, ladies and gentlemen. We are so excited to finally be able to present to you our roadmap. And the roadmap is, of course, a technical roadmap, right? we have a broader strategic plan, which is all about driving volume to the chain, getting users on the chain, increasing well broadly to be a top 25 or top strategic plan. Now, the technical roadmap is, of course, a really important, is already so good. Crypto is not enough to get you into luxury of having a technical road talk about more, getting their TPS, the gains that we've already can start driving, thinking protocol that we already have in the product space, in the strategy and marketing officer. And Bruno Martins, who is our wanted to hijack this opportunity to update you on three things. One is the liquidity into the DeFi ecosystem. Second is the CTO search. And third is the move to the US. So in terms of providing liquidity into the DeFi, some more announcements on the CTO search has gone off to a privacy protocol, which is.
Well, it's funny because we already know the CTO news, of course, but I just want to get to the part where she talks about the restructure.
Is really no surprise to any of us. And we have gotten, I can really say out loud about this, but a lot of interest from on the cap table than we are. And, you know, these are affirming for us, right? That we have so many people coming to express their interest in this role. And so we are, and we're making very Web3, which is interesting. And some of the troubles and problems that they're facing by Labor Day about a new Kansas has really stepped up as our acting CTO. And the team that John built was just so, all we're missing is a little, you know, and then third, you know, with this new administration and stablecoin legislation passed, so exciting, we need to be in the US. The US is the biggest crypto market, and we are determined to be, you know, we are a US-led chain, US-founded chain, and we need to, you know, make sure that we are there in country and availing ourselves of any opportunities that come from that, frankly. In addition, we need to have a better board. Right. So our board is, you know, as you guys have all pointed out to me on a number of occasions, and we know it, they're a very good board, though, from a governance perspective, but they're not representative and they are not, they're not visible in a way to the ecosystem. And so we are progressing on this move to the US and this effort to get a new and revitalized board. So those are the kind of the two tracks.
So yeah, she did talk. We covered that this was happening. And so I guess it was really not even really that big of news. It's just a matter of like how the board will be restructured and who will be involved. You know, according to the DM, she mentioned some community members on the board, which I think is a good thing. I think it's good to have that representation. Because kind of says like, just curious that Stacy will DM these messages to random people. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. We need to hand off to the ex-gov council. Yeah, that could be an interesting way to do it. Like chairman and community seat for voting. No shilling here. We have no liquidity coming in unless Trump does tax-free for American blockchains. So I wouldn't say that. I don't think that's true at all. HBAR is just about to get an ETF, but that's like besides the point of what we're talking about here. Algorand is a failure. LOL, too many quests. Did you mean Algoland? I think you meant Algoland. Dawa Cuticle? Whoever, Dua Cuticle. I think Algorand, like the first week I was like really excited about it. And then I just totally lost interest. It just wasn't, it just was too, you know, it was a little much, I think. But I'm skeptical that Algorand really brought in people from other ecosystems, and maybe it did. And I'm not aware of it, but I haven't seen them share any metrics that indicate that. I just don't see that it was more people than. Yeah, that's what I thought. Algorand is a failure. Yeah. What do you think the Algo marketing team has to do their role to expand awareness about Algorand? Here in Asia, they call Algo a senior citizens coin. Where in Asia are you, by the way? I'm curious. That's very interesting. Well, I maybe that makes me a senior citizen. Listen, I think Algorand is like, it's always going to be it is going to be the senior citizen chain. It's like it's the stuff that's going on in the background. I think it's going to do the boring but important stuff. And yeah, it's not going to get investors excited for short-term games, but I think it'll still be a good long-term, you know, think about 10, 20 years from now. I think Algorand it'll still be there as long as crypto is still around, for sure. But definitely not like, this isn't a get rich, you know, there's other coins that are going to pump harder. And so that's always been my position on Algorand. Algorand's more like your, you know how I work, you know, and I don't have a work anymore. I've worked for myself, but you know, at a job, you'll have like the rock stars but then you'll have like your utility player, and nobody gets excited about the utility player, but they're always like the go-to reliable one. That's what Algorand is. But those tend to last longer, so that's something to keep in mind. Okay, let's see. We got more Algorand stuff, so I just wanted to talk about that. I thought it was interesting. Actually, maybe I'll see some more. Let's see some more people. There's the board. I don't know anything about them. I said, I read it as we're all stepping down from this sinking ship. It ain't sunk yet, just a mutiny for control. Green Blue says, I've explored more of the ecosystem for sure via Algorand. That's cool. Algo went from 10 to 50 cents this year, right? Was it this year? I think it went to 60 cents last year. Okay, we got to fact check that. We're going to fact check that because I don't think that's true. Last year we went up to 60 cents during that huge... I got way too much stuff up. Hold on. I'm going to start taking some tabs down. I just got too many tabs up. This is like my old computer's everything's taking forever. Oh, it's not as bad as my own. I take that back. It's not as bad as my own computer. Okay, here's 1 year. Maybe I'm wrong. I forgot. We went up to like 50. I thought we got to like 60. Didn't we not get to 60 some? Well, anyway. Beginning of the year, yeah, it was. But we didn't go from 10 to 50. We went from 50 to 21, actually. Last year is when it went from 10 to 50. But close. Yeah, all Algo needs is better marketing. I don't know. I've become kind of skeptical on that because I think we've had some pretty good marketing and it hasn't really moved the needle a ton. Well, I guess I know there's a lot of people that hope Stacey steps down. I just don't think it's... I could be wrong. I don't think it's going to make a big difference. And, you know, I'm not like anti-Stacey like a lot of people. I'm not like... It's not like I think she's like the best in the world, but let's see what else we got. You guys know what a perp dex is? Because we got some... yeah, Cloudy Vibe says we hit 61 cents in December. I thought it was December. I thought I remember hitting that. It's not showing up on the chart because I think it was pretty brief, right? So this is from Sarah Maria. Sarah is the interoperability person on Algorand Foundation. So I thought this was pretty interesting, and we got some. There's more to this. So just hang on a second. Okay, imagine a perp dex on Algorand Foundation. So what that means is that's a decentralized exchange for perpetual contracts. Perpetual contracts, or perps, they allow you to trade on an asset without actually owning the asset. So it's basically like futures trading. So, and you can do like leverage trading. I'm not going to touch that, but you know, enjoy. Fast, secure, not taking your firstborn in fees, quantum resistant from 2026 onward, cross-chain accessible. In 2024, I dreamed of improved operability on Algorand. In 2025, I dream of perp dex. Do you do what you want with that piece of information? Now, Geek.algo said, so when Algorand in CCTP, CCIP, that's Chainlink, by the way. Sarah responded, we just integrated, I think she meant, Allbridge to enable native USDC bridging. More interoperable solutions are coming. So seeming to be indicating that they might be looking at Chainlink, maybe. Appreciate the determination. Geek.algo said, we only care about CCIP, CCTP, less pointless parties and selfies, more CPI. Looking across community engagement, technical needs, startup ecosystem, and improved accessibility, there are way more to consider. I think he's kind of right, though, to be honest. I think that is a huge factor. Funny enough, I just had a chat about Quantos. Just because you guys don't see it yet doesn't mean it's not happening. That is something to keep in mind. A lot of this stuff is going to go on behind the scenes, but I just thought that was interesting because the first off possibility of a perp dex, and then maybe hinting that Chainlink is coming. I think they just got to do Chainlink. I think it's silly not to do that. I should have had this one. Sorry. At this point, like, it's just, I think Chainlink is inevitable, and I think they got to do that. This is, I thought this was kind of interesting, you know. So I've been pretty bullish on the whole para wallet, para card thing, but this is Algorand here makes a really good point. It says, you thought including those metrics on this infographic was a good idea. Another great product with no users. This was on their thing for, you know, expanding to 3 new countries. So all-time spend is 140,000 USDC. Daily spend 1,000. That's really low. He's not wrong. That's incredibly low. That is really, really low. And I would be very concerned about that. I am. I would be very concerned about that. Now, I think a lot of that is because, well, first off, they've been in UK, Italy, Germany, Spain, and New Zealand. Begum says 140. Wow, that's the way forward, Algo family. Yeah. 140, that's pretty small, I gotta say. And they've added Netherlands, Poland, Portugal, but you know what they really need? They really need, they need to go live in the US. It's just gotta happen. You're not gonna get volume until they go to the US. I think that's 100% true. So I don't know. You guys do what you want with that. I just think that's interesting. It's something that I'm kind of tracking. Let's see here. What else have we got? Oh, yeah, just a little shout out to Tiny Man here. 450 million in trading volume this year and counting. Tiny Man continues to be the liquidity backbone of Algorand DeFi ecosystem. A huge thanks to our community of traders, LPs, projects who keep the markets alive every day, onward to 500 million. Now I'm all in on DeFi, on ready pools right now. So all my bag, I just put it over there. I've kind of had it with my problem with Tiny Man with the liquid, you know, the liquid staking is it's really hard to track exactly how you're doing. Cloudy Vibe says, I'm sure those countries don't hold a lot of algo. Watch what happens when it comes to the US. Here's the other part about that. Let's go back to that because I'm going to pull that back up. Here's the part about that. A lot of people are probably waiting to take profits, so they don't have a lot of USDC. And also there's some stuff about the use case. Like, I think a lot of people aren't going to sell Algorand to go to USDC to spend it, because then you're taking on an event, you know, you're taking on a liquidity event, you're taking on a taxable event. Whereas now I get, you know, my sponsors pay me in USDC. So that would be very convenient for me instead of having to transfer it over to fiat, that I could just use it. That would be actually really helpful for me. So I kind of like that. I actually want to use the Paracard. I'm ready to use the Paracard, but it's got to be live here. Para says they're just waiting for regulation in the USA to be clear, as in the Clarity Act. Yeah, I thought the Genius Act would have actually helped that, but maybe I'm wrong. Cuticle says, going to lock my Tiny Man bag for another decade if I want profits. I actually made profit on it. Well, first off, all my Tiny was free. So I took a gamble, I locked it all up, and I made, you know, I made more in rewards than I would have lost if, say, all the Tiny Man was gone. So I made more than the initial bag. So if I just taken that bag and sold it right away, I would have made less than I made by locking it up. So, you know, whatever. In fact, I can show you guys. Let's go back to full screen here. I'll just show you guys. Why not? Probably got some. Yeah, I actually got some to claim here. Yeah, so I made 183, and I think it was like 140 or 130 is like the amount of the dollar amount of what they had initially given me. And you can see it down here. I don't know if you can see that really well. Almost 4,000. It's actually quite a bit more that I got, because yeah, I got like 5,400 in rewards on Tiny and 3,800, but I got way more in value because in the early days, it was worth a lot more. Now it's going down. So I made it okay. But today, and switching them to USDC and taking it. Yep. I'm one of the guys that's crashing it. I've been staking on Tiny on folks. No lockup and no voting power. Yeah. I have not voted on one single thing ever. I just don't care. I'll be honest, like I just don't care about voting on almost anything, to be honest. Like just do it. I don't care. I don't care what you do. Like listen, I don't run a DEX. What do I know? Anyway. Yeah, I think that's all I had on Algorand, so we can be done with that segment, but how's everyone doing anyway? I gotta tell you, man, I'm on a rant today. Probably burning some bridges, but I don't care. Sometimes you just gotta say stuff, you know? You just gotta say stuff. I'm just checking some stuff out here. Well, I have an Ondo segment. We can get to that in a minute, but I need a little palate cleanser. So we got 37 minutes before we start our Astro Explorer game, and I'm gonna tell you, I don't think a lot of you believed in me. I don't think you did. Y'all didn't count on me having my energy drink ready. I'm locked in, man. I'm locked in. Yeah, we'll get to that. Let's. Why don't we take a look at the markets still suck? Let's see. Good buying opportunity. Oh yeah, down to 118. Actually, you know what? Before I continue the next segment, I'm going to do this off screen, but I'm going to buy some more Bitcoin. I'm going to buy some more Bitcoin. Maybe I should add to my ETH bag too. I could do that pretty easily. I might do that. Green Blue Algo says, get your votes in. Yeah, go to Alpha, search for Bruegel BC, and you can find, so around buy, market. Oops. There we go. Just bought some more Bitcoin. Gonna enter that into my tracker. And I'm actually bringing my average buy up. Let's see. By the way, we do have channel members, channel memberships. You can become a channel member today, starting at only $1. And if you want special videos, you get $1. You get all my videos before anyone else. Obviously not the lives, but because that's not possible. But everything else you get before anyone else, which is pretty neat. And for the higher channel members, you can get exclusive videos. I go through my portfolios. You get to see my experiments early. So that's a lot of cool stuff you can do. And that one's only like $4, so I think that's pretty good. Let's see. Go up. Oh shoot, I forgot. I can't do it. Okay, never mind. We won't be able to do that because I don't have my wallet on me. Okay, I'm gonna actually. You know what? I'm gonna leave the alpha. I gotta take a bathroom break, so I'm gonna share this. Yeah, still not working. Maybe it's a Brave browser thing, but I'm gonna take a little break and I'll be right back. Okay, we are back. You know what? That's not moved. Not many people are putting money. Some people put a lot of money on this. Ask bids. Actually, I'm not even. I'll be 100% honest. I don't even know totally how this works. if I'm being 100% honest. So that's that. But yeah, some people putting some money in. So we're gonna get to that at noon Central Standard Time, about a half hour. So I got one more segment I want to get through. Hold on. I tell you, it's really irritating. This whole this camera thing is annoying. Okay. Bricktop is a Snatch movie reference. It's been a really long time since I saw that. Ghost Beard, it says, dang, what direction did the new guy announce? Well, if you're talking about our title, has nothing to do with the CTO at all. It has to do with this idea that the foundation board would be stepping down. Actually, there will be a restructure, is basically what we concluded. Remember, Algo sharing the American flag and an eagle. I like it. He says, my 17 cents world financial limit buy went through with aggressively have a theory about tariff rebate. Voting power. I've locked some locked on Tiny Man for voting power. Been sticking Tiny Man, folks. Okay. Well, why don't we? I'm going to set up our folks finance. No, not our folks finance. Our Ondo segment here. Let's see what hold on a second here. Okay, go to my bookmarks. Yeah, it has been a long time since I saw the movie Snatch. A long time. Okay. Let me see what the main thing is here. All right, so like as you guys know, when I do a new segment, you know, I don't really respond to chat unless it's directly related to what I'm talking about. And I know a lot of people on here are my Algorand fans, so might not be so interested in Ondo. But I think you should pay attention because, you know, if you look at other chains and what they're doing, you can get an idea of like what maybe Algorand should be doing. So I'm going to start the segment now, and we will, you know, we'll circle back around to chat once we're close. So, all right, guys, you guys know I'm a huge fan of Ondo Finance, and they just had a huge week. What I want to do is go through some of the stuff that Ondo Finance has been doing, and what a great week they had. So why don't we dive into this Ondo news? Another big week for digital asset adoption, says Ondo. The SEC weighed tokenized stock trading. Swift announced blockchain infrastructure with major banks, and Robinhood CEO predicted tokenization will reshape local finance. That is a big deal for Ondo Finance, by the way. If you're talking about, you know, if you're shouting out tokenization of global finance, well, Ondo is well shaped to do that. So we had the Robinhood news. We had Circle and Deutsche Börse collaborate to advance stablecoin adoption in Europe. We had the SEC weighing plans to allow blockchain-based stock trading, which, by the way, Ondo just went global with their like over 200 tokenized stocks, which are 1-to-1, no AMMs being used. It is straight up the asset price is the asset price. I like that. Security and Exchange Commission is reportedly developing a plan to allow blockchain registered versions of stocks to trade on cryptocurrency exchanges, making a significant step forward in integrating digital asset technology into traditional markets. Also, Swift announced a blockchain plan at Cebos. And I'll tell you, Ondo is right next to them at Cebos, right next to their booth. Swift is developing its own blockchain to streamline transactions among global banks. That might be bad news for people in the ISO 20022 camp, which, by the way, there's no such thing as a compliant coin. I think we've covered that numerous times. You guys know that's just not a thing, but that's big for Swift. That's maybe not so bullish for all other blockchains, because if they're going to have their own, they don't need you. Bridge launches open issuance stablecoin platform. Bridge, acquired by Stripe in 2024, launched Open Issuance, a platform that allows any business to launch and manage its own stablecoin. Phantom, Native Markets, MetaMask, and Dakota joined as launch partners. I do not like MetaMask. I think you guys know that. If you've watched my channel long enough, you know that I think MetaMask is everything that's wrong with crypto AI or UI, excuse me. But anyway, that's that. But we got way more. I remember them sharing that. We got a partnership with Oasis Pro Markets. Ondo Finance has completed its purchase of Oasis Pro, including its SEC-registered digital assets broker-dealer, alternative trading system, and transfer agent licenses. This provides the Ondo Finance Group with the most comprehensive set of SEC regulations for digital asset services in the United States. So with this acquisition complete, they say, Ondo can now develop regulated markets for tokenized securities, laying the foundation for a new era of blockchain-based financial products for U.S. investors. There it is. There you go. Coming to the U.S. I like to see it. And we've had a lot of good news along the U.S. adoption front, along the U.S. Hey, let's get this stuff on chain. Let's lead the way in innovation. I like to see it. So here's what they all have. This is what Ondo gets. They get an engine for tokenizing real-world assets, a digital asset transfer agent and capitalization management solution, a primary offering marketplace, a multi-asset secondary trading system for public and private tokenized securities, approval to conduct secondary market activities for traditional NMS securities. I'm not sure what that means. Tokenized or traditional OTC, over-the-counter equities, and corporate debt. Expanded coverage for closed-end mutual funds, REITs, structured products, MBS, ABS, and privately placed securities. Now, REITs, those are real estate funds where you have like a fund of a whole bunch, kind of a portfolio. You get a little token, a little share of like a whole big basket of real estate equities. Mutual funds, of course, I think we know what that is. I don't really know what MBS and ABS is, I'll be honest. Shout it out in the chat if you do. Licenses supporting capital markets activities, including private placements, underwriting, and mergers and acquisition advisory. This acquisition enables Ondo to expand across as the tokenization securities market rapidly accelerates, predicted to exceed $18 trillion by 2023. That's a lot, by the way. But they're set up. I mean, this is I'm kind of surprised. Didn't they already have some of this infrastructure? But I guess they just have this because this is SEC registered. So they're already set to go. I mean, this basically, that's the thing. Like, it's not so much the infrastructure, it's the fact that their stuff has already been approved. So they can go to town. So I would expect big things from Ondo in the future, for sure. And like, speaking of, remember how I said that? Fun fact, MasterCard presented right alongside Ondo at Swift Cebos. So it was that, not Swift. Sorry about that. MasterCard presented right now. There we go. MasterCard and Ondo. Last year, we saw MasterCard integrate with OUSG into their multi-token network. Something tells me they've been cooking more since. Oh, by the way, you know, I mean, MasterCard has been making a lot of moves in the crypto space. You know, we've talked about, I know my Algorand fans, we know about the Para wallet, where MasterCard integrated with Para wallet to make Para card, where you can use your crypto wallet basically to pay at MasterCard terminals. Not in the US yet, but very soon, we hope. I think we're waiting for some regulatory clarity. So nice, you know, here they're working with Ondo. I think MasterCard is really trying to to integrate with crypto. They're going all in on crypto, which I think is pretty interesting. And then this one I thought was pretty big too. Stable has selected Ondo's USDY as primary collateral for its USST stablecoin. USDY, that's Ondo's stablecoin, by the way. It's a yield coin, you know. USDY, a leading yield coin with 690 million in TVL across 12 blockchains and supported by 100 plus partners, brings tokenization, US securities, and bank deposits into Stable's reserves. I think the yield coin is pretty cool. It's a cool idea, you know. And I don't know if you guys know this, but when the Genius Act passed, the banks were really fighting it, and they really didn't want these tokens to be able to offer you liquidity. Why? Well, because they can't compete. They can't compete with it because they know they've been screwing you for years, and they know if you're able to make yield on stable coins, what do you need them for? You know, the game will be up because people will realize they've been screwing you for years, and they have. It's 100% true. Okay, 100% true. So guess what, though? There's a loophole that basically allows for stablecoin yields anyway. So the banks totally got screwed. Ha, take that. Take that, banks. I love it. I think it's great. Anyway, that's that. And then one more piece of Ondo news that I think is pretty cool. The CFTC just outlined its digital asset priorities. As the Futures and Derivatives Law Report Digital Asset Leadership Summit, that's a lot, CFTC Acting Chairman Caroline Pham outlined a technology-neutral, principles-based approach to digital assets. The agency's three immediate priorities are spot crypto market structure. CFTC is developing a clear trade workflow for spot crypto in listed markets, seeking public feedback to move responsibly but expeditiously. Digital Asset Pilot Program. I like that. A time-bound pilot will test digital asset market structures under defined eligibility criteria, data collection requirements, and risk parameters before broader implementation. So, you know, time-bound, meaning it's going to be a short period of a certain time where they're going to test this stuff out and see if it's ready to go, ready for prime time. I think it will be, by the way. Tokenized Collateral Initiative. The CFTC is actively exploring tokenized collateral, including stablecoins, seeking industry engagement on operational details and risk controls for safe deployment. With clear frameworks, active pilots, and regulatory engagement, the CFTC is paving the way for digital assets to scale responsibly in U.S. markets. This is such a difference from what we had under the last administration. They're actually testing and like making sensible regulations. Imagine that, sensible regulations. That's all anybody in crypto has been asking for. Like, we don't want people to like cheat. We don't want people to, you know, get a free pass. We just want like sensible regulations. What we didn't want was an administration that just brought the hammer down with no regard to whether good or bad things are being happened. We saw Sam Bankman-Fried get a completely free pass on just about everything. Until finally they came down on him because they had to. But it was really bad. I mean, that was horrible. You know, he was getting like meetings with Gary Gensler, while, you know, projects that are actually trying to do the right thing were just getting Wells notices and being told to, you know, get lost, basically. And we send a lot of stuff overseas where we can't regulate it. It just doesn't make sense. So I like this change of pace. I think Ondo is well placed to benefit from a lot of these new rules because they're specifically focused on kind of bringing TradFi on chain, which is why I like Ondo, which is why I think Ondo is a great chain. And, you know, that's why you should pay attention to it. Just keep an eye on it. Like I've been buying a little Ondo. I definitely got some in my bag. I think it's a great project. So that's what we got to say for Ondo Finance. Whew. Yeah, I think that was a good little segment. We're about 15 minutes away. I don't know if I can start my... I had a video to react to, but I just don't think we'll get to it. Wait, hold on. I think I can do it here. Let me. Is that lower? How's that sounding? HS just read the Trump post. Oh, you guys are hearing it all now. I don't think. Well, I don't hear it at all either, actually. I hear it a little bit. Binance decided not maybe why their flag gets hit so hard. Well, yeah, let's look at that. Are you guys hearing the music at all? Trump trade war is back. Stocks are tumbling on Trump's massive tariff threat. Stocks dropped sharply around midday on Friday after Trump revived fears of the trade war in China. The president said he would consider a massive increase in tariffs on China. Investors are concerned that a trade deal with Beijing could be in jeopardy. U.S. stocks sold off midday Friday as President Donald Trump threatened to revive the trade war with China. In the post on Truth Social, the president said he believed China was becoming very hostile in trade talks and that there now seemed like there was no reason to speak with China's president Xi Jinping in South Korea's plan later this month. Well, that's bad. Yeah, look at that. Makes the comment and pew, crypto did the same. Crypto was kind of crashing before that, though. Kind of strange that they didn't talk about it's kind of play for fun, no need to go overboard, you know. Well, we got to play for an hour or at least until I hit the thing, so hold on. Sounds messed up. Maybe I'll just take it off then. So let me pull this up because I want to. Yeah, we'll do full screen here. The market will resolve to yes if BC finishes the game with the highest score among all competitors, and no if any other player ties or beats their score. Yeah, I should have looked at this more carefully because, like, that doesn't make any sense. Do I have to finish the whole? Actually, I should ask. Give me a second. I'm going to ask them because I'm not sure. So I just asked them if I win, if I hit the high score, because that was my intention. Maybe I should have been. I should have. I should have asked more questions earlier on, but like I've always got like 80 bajillion things going on. Anyway, so yeah, so I just have to hit the high score within the hour. So if I hit it, I win basically. Let's see. Let's see what the score is. So still loading. Oh God, 170. Crap. This is gonna be tough. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I took the audio off. Some people said it sounded messed up. I can put it on. You hear it now? No, huh? Interesting. Let's see. How about now? I turned the overall volume down because I was trying to... Can you hear the sound? Oh, I think you guys weren't hearing me, were you? Hello? You guys hear that? Yep, okay, cool. We got 9 minutes, so that's gonna be tough. Yeah, I know. Okay. I'm just gonna turn the music off then. I was hoping there was a way I could mix that where I could... Let me see if there's a way I can do it. Let's see. I don't know if this will help. Theme. Content. Shields. Privacy, Web3, Leo, sync, search and extension. System. Maybe system? No, I don't know. I remember finding this little mixer for the... I don't know, whatever. Yeah, I just took the music off. It's just not gonna... It's gonna be annoying, so... Is what it is. That's one thing that irritates me. They don't have a good way to... Sorry, doggy. Poor doggy curled up with my feet. That's a gutsy dog, I'll tell you what. We got 7 minutes. I dig the music. Maybe I'll turn the music on when I'm playing. I don't know. Because I do actually think the music on here is really good. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Because I probably won't be talking too much anyway. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see if I can find a way to... We got some time anyway, so... Oh, God. Well, if I do Brave audio, let me go back to this. Let me turn that on. That's not even taking it. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. We're just gonna do it with it off. Okay. Get 6 minutes to start. Let's see if there's been any change in the... I can't believe they set it for an hour. I told them half hour to maybe 45 minutes. Can you hear me? Are you saying you can't hear me? I can see this in here. I see desktop audio making noise. Well, yeah, everything is down except for Litecoin. Litecoin's up on the 24-hour, and so is Near. wonder why near's going up. That's strange. You guys hear me, right? You guys hear me? Man, I shouldn't have touched that music. I think you guys can hear me though. Let's go back to I'm gonna go back to full volume here. Sounds great. Okay, here we go. I can't hear nothing. 4 minutes. I got my Aldi energy drink ready to go. Almost finished it, so I really hope I hit this thing, because man, I did not want to play for an hour. That was like way more than I was going to. I should have looked at it more closely. So I consider that my fault. Okay. I'm gonna shout out the post on X. Here we go. 3 minutes. By the way, have you guys played this? Let's go back a second before we do that. Oh, wait, hold on. Dang it. So this is my Bork. Oh, I guess you got to see it. This is my Bork, and I'm such a big fan of this. We'll go here. Like, it's a cool NFT project. I'd actually like to partner with them on something. I got some Aether, you know, so I got to start putting in some. They have mute, but I wish I could adjust the sound. The sound level. There's got to be a way to do it that isn't super pain in the butt, you know what I mean? But I just can't figure it out. Yeah, Combex made a little banner ad for them. I was thinking about doing that. I wonder, maybe I should find out how much they charge for that, because you can get the bottom one for free, even though it doesn't show up on browsers. So I think that's a good idea. Anyway, yeah, 170, man. I think they did that just to tank me. I think someone's gonna make some money. I'm afraid, but I know I was talking mad crap. Got 1 minute before we start. I can't believe I got to play this game for an hour. Oh, man. All right. Well, it is what it is. Should be fun. You know what I get to do the rest of the day? I get to watch an ethics board hearing the whole rest of the day. That's my whole day. Fortunately, going out with a girlfriend tonight, that should be fun. She's great. It's not even like we're just so comfortable with each other. It's not even like dating anymore. I'm going to keep that up. Starting very soon. I probably won't be talking very much. Actually, maybe I'll turn the sound on. All right, here we go. This is such a fun game. Dude, it'd be so funny if I got it right away. People would be so mad. They do kind of screw you on these sometimes. Ah, dang it. Ooh, that was pretty slick. Ah, 136. Okay. Yeah, no, don't ping him. Don't ping him. Don't ping him. Actually, I'm going to turn the music on because I'm not going to talk that much. I got to like arrange things a little bit better here. Okay. Man, they really screw you on some of these. There's got to be a little like trick to some of those, but they'll give you you'll just get it where you just don't get a good opening. But yeah, we got a ways to go. It's really hard to get like well, you don't like I think this music is awesome. That's crazy. Yeah, I actually think the music is really great on this. Anyway, I'm having fun, but let's go. We got some viewers, you know, viewers are coming in. All right, so we're up to 4th place. I think we can get up higher. I've had some good runs before, so boy, it's really hard to get a comfortable position. I'm gonna move my mouse over. That might help a little bit. Here we go. Okay. Because I don't need the mouse as much. Oh my god, you piece of crap. Oops, I forgot to turn the sound on. Too late now. Much better. Oh, jeez. Sometimes you just get in these like really bad traps and there's not much you can do about it. Oh, I forgot to turn the music on again. That was tight. Whew. Here, I'm gonna turn the music back on. Oh, this is so annoying. Oh, here, I'm gonna go over here.
And water.
jokes that we have at the party. Some got lost like they never even started. Can't really see if I lost the right one. I gotta get these tickets in before the setting of the sun.
Equal my last one. All right. It's only 12 minutes. We got a long ways to go. 48 minutes left. I think we can do it, though. I think we can do it. Yeah, I think you mean Galaxian. I think you're talking about Galaxian. Yeah, I used to play that back in the day. Or Galaga, too. Ooh, all right. Shake out my arm. Dude, that ticks me off so much. It just gives you like these like you know what I mean? It's just like it just really like traps you sometimes. All right, here we go. I got a little bit better. 140. Still, I haven't even hit number 3 yet. And Barb, what are you doing? It's tanking me, Barb. What are you doing getting on those boards? Anyone know World Bonker, by the way? How's it getting 170? There's times when like 150 some would get you on the leaderboard, but whew, that really is like... I wonder if I did this. Would that help? I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it with my keyboard on my lap. Let's see if that... Okay, here we go. It definitely helped having my arm having the keyboard in my hand. Hold on, I need a break. Okay, we're about halfway through our contest. I just want to give a shout out to, oh, hey, it's working now. Cool. Kind of, maybe not. This part of the stream is sponsored by Alpha Arcade, and we have a prediction market live right now. And the prediction is, can I get the top score on Astro Explorer? Oh, hold on. Dog wants to come in. Come on in. So the contest is, can I get to the top score by the time the stream is done at 1 o'clock CST. So we got another half hour. We're gonna keep going and we'll play the game, and that's that. We'll see how we do.
present merge in the views from space, so do the white clouds seem to be a part of the land and water.
lost like they never even started. Can't really see if I lost the right one. I gotta get these tickets in before the setting of the sun.
At least for me. I apologize in advance for going against that one person. Told you. so sick of this game. I actually really like the music. I think it's really fun. I just kind of dig this. It's sort of a chill vibe, you know, chill kind of lo-fi almost. It's fun, but all right, 13 minutes left. We didn't even get the top 3, dude. That's crazy. Whew. Okay, here we go. I should be able to get top 3 at least. I would hope. Man, I'm losing it, guys. I'm losing it. 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes. Okay, here we go. 7 minutes left. World Bonker says when it gets crazy. World Bonker, by the way, the guy who's leading right now, says when it gets crazy, I find that slower, more precise movements help in dodging incoming fire. Sometimes it just screws you regardless, though. Yeah, 100%, 100%. All right, 7 more minutes, guys. Let's go. I haven't hit, like I hit 140 in the first half. I haven't hit that yet, so we'll see. I'm just getting slow. Trust me, like, he's fine, bro. He's fine. 5 more minutes. Come on, we can do this. We can do this. I'm really getting, like, starting to make mistakes, man. You gotta be kidding me. Three more minutes. I think we might have 2 more games left. we go. Here we go. That's one. Didn't do it. Wow, my wrist is really sore. All right, well, whoever, I guess we didn't win. Does it show the... Well, it closed. Wow, that's cool. It happened automatically. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. Sorry for anyone who... Sorry for anyone who bet on me. I apologize. I tried my best. We got to 140. I thought we were really going to do it, and I just never hit it again. Man, I had a couple where I was in the zone, and then all of a sudden you just get where it like screws you, and you just get one of those ones where you get like it's caught in a double hit, and that's the end of that. So, well, I'm exhausted. I'm going to go eat some lunch, and then I got more work to do. Damn, man, good hustle though. Try Gravity Gauntlet next. Oh god, I'm horrible at Gravity Gauntlet. World Bonker, thanks for the encouragement. Congrats on being #1. And Green Blue says that was fun. Thanks, I appreciate that. Well, I think it was a fun stream anyway. It was pretty cool to do that little partnership with Alpha Arcade. So big shout out to them. And yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys are having a great day. Have a good week.